My dear children, come and rest now in my presence. Let the noise of the world fade away for a little while. Feel the stillness that wraps around you like a soft blanket. The candles of my love still burn brightly, their gentle light dancing against the walls of your heart. Can you sense it? The peace that does not come from the world, but from me, your Father, who never changes. In this quiet moment, imagine the glow of morning light spilling through the stained glass of a small chapel. Dust motes drift in golden beams. The air is tender with the sound of a distant bell calling, not with demand, but with invitation. That sound, my dear children, is my heart calling to yours. Come close. Breathe in my peace. I know the weight you carry. I have seen the silent tears that fall when no one else notices. I have heard the prayers you whisper in the dark, asking, "Why, Lord? Why did this happen?" You have faced disappointments that left cracks in your heart, dreams that fell apart, plans that shattered, hopes that dissolved like mist. But I tell you now, those cracks are not your end. They are the places where my light enters in. Stay with me. Rest here in this sacred stillness. Let me speak to you as only your Father can. My dear children, I am the one who formed you in love, who shaped your heart with intention, who breathed my very life into you. Every moment of your story is known to me. Not one tear, not one disappointment, not one unanswered question escapes my gaze. I am not far away when you are hurting. I am near, closer than your very breath. This message, this whisper of my spirit, is my comfort to you. I am here to remind you that your disappointment is not the final word. I am the God who turns ashes into beauty, who restores what was broken, who brings rivers of life into barren ground. You may not see the full picture now, but I am working behind the scenes with a love so deep, so precise, that every fragment of your pain will be redeemed in time. Do not be afraid of your broken places, my dear children, for I am the potter, and you are the clay in my hands. When a jar breaks, I do not discard it. I gather every piece tenderly, and I begin again. I reshape, I restore, I make something even more beautiful than before. This is the message I speak over you today. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28. Hold that promise close, my dear children. It is not merely words, it is my eternal truth written into your very being. My dear children, there are moments when life feels like it has fallen apart, when what you hoped for seems lost and the path ahead is unclear. You look at the fragments of what once was, and you wonder if they can ever be whole again. I want you to hear me clearly. They can and they will. I am the God who rebuilds, the God who restores, the God who brings life out of what seems ruined. The broken clay jar of your heart is not beyond my reach. I place it gently upon my wheel. I press my hands upon it, not to hurt, but to heal. Each spin, each touch, each shaping is guided by love. I see what you cannot yet see, a new vessel refined by grace, designed to carry living water. You may say, "But Lord, it wasn't supposed to be this way." And I answer, "Trust me, my dear child, What seems like loss to you is the soil in which I am planting something eternal. The disappointment you feel, it is real. I do not minimize your pain. I sit beside you in it. I weep with you. I gather you close, and I whisper, "Be still. I am here." For every door that closes, I prepare a new one. For every broken dream, I am crafting something that will reveal my goodness in greater measure. There is purpose even in the things you do not understand. I do not waste a single sorrow. Each one becomes a thread in the tapestry of my redemption. One day you will look back and see how every twist and turn was part of my plan to draw you closer to me. Do you remember, my dear children, how a seed must fall into the ground and die before it can grow? So too must some of your plans be surrendered so that greater life may spring forth. I am not taking from you to harm you. I am making room for the abundance that is to come. When disappointment comes, I do not leave you empty-handed. I fill your emptiness with my presence. I pour peace into your pain, strength into your weariness, hope into your despair. I am near to the broken-hearted and save those who are crushed in spirit. You are never forgotten. Even when you feel abandoned, I am working quietly in the background, shaping your future with tender precision. I am the God who sees you like the potter who leans close, studying the clay, feeling every contour. When I reshape you, it is not punishment, it is preparation. The hands that mold you are scarred with love, the marks of my sacrifice for you. There will come a day when you will see the beauty that has grown from the soil of your disappointment. You will marvel at how the very thing that once caused you pain became the path to deeper joy, greater strength, and a faith that cannot be shaken. I am not the author of chaos. I am the writer of redemption. Every storm that has touched your life has been measured by my mercy. Every delay, every detour, every denial has been allowed only so that my goodness might be revealed more clearly in you. My dear children, when you cannot see the way forward, lift your eyes. The dawn is coming. The light will break through the clouds, and in that light you will see that I was with you all along, holding you, guiding you, loving you with an everlasting love. Take heart. The broken jar will shine again. The cracks, sealed with the gold of my grace, will tell the story of redemption to those around you. Your pain will not be wasted. It will become your testimony, a vessel through which my glory will pour out into the lives of others. Remember my promise. I will never leave you nor forsake you. You are mine, and I am shaping your life with the hands of a loving Father who never gives up on his children. Let peace settle in your spirit now. Let my love be the balm that soothes your weary heart. You do not have to strive to understand everything. Simply rest in me. I am enough. The seasons will change, my dear children, but my faithfulness never will. The potter's wheel will turn again, and with every turn, I am forming you into something more radiant, more resilient, more like my son. Stay close to me. Do not rush the process. Trust that I am doing something beautiful in the unseen. For even in disappointment, I am still your comfort. Even in the waiting, I am still your hope. Even in the silence, I am still speaking love over you. And when you are ready, when your heart has healed and the light returns, I will send you out as a vessel of comfort to others. that you may pour out the same grace you have received. My dear children, listen closely to my heart. When I look upon you, I do not see your failures, your regrets, or your missed opportunities. I see my beloved child, one I have chosen, one I have redeemed, one whom I am shaping for eternal beauty. Do not let disappointment define you. Let my love refine you. When something precious in your life has been taken away or has fallen apart, it is natural for your heart to ache. I understand that pain more deeply than you can imagine. I have watched my own children turn away. I have seen love rejected and truth denied. Yet out of that sorrow, I birthed salvation. Out of the darkest night, I brought forth the light of the world. So do not be afraid when the night feels long, for even now I am working in the silence. I am preparing a dawn that will take your breath away. My dear children, I have not forgotten the promises I made to you. Every word I have spoken will come to pass in its time, but the promise must grow in hidden soil before it blooms in full beauty. You are not forgotten in your waiting. I see your faithfulness when you continue to trust me even without understanding. Every prayer you whisper, every tear you shed becomes a seed of faith that I will cause to blossom in due season. I am not slow to fulfill my promises, but I am precise. I act in perfect time, never too early, never too late. The disappointment you feel is not a sign that I have abandoned you. It is a doorway into deeper intimacy with me. For in your brokenness, you learn to lean on my strength. When you can no longer control the outcome, you discover that I never asked you to. I only asked you to trust. Do you see the clay on the potter's wheel, my dear children? It does not resist the potter's touch. It yields, soft and pliable, allowing my hands to bring forth its truest form. When the clay becomes rigid, it cannot be shaped. But when it surrenders, it becomes a masterpiece. You are that clay in my hands. You are being formed not according to the world's expectations, but according to my divine design. And yes, sometimes, when the vessel cracks, I break it down and begin again, not out of anger, but out of love. For I will not let your life remain half-finished or flawed in its purpose. I am committed to completing the good work I began in you. The fire that tests you is not meant to destroy you, but to strengthen the vessel, making it ready to hold my presence in greater measure. Every disappointment carries within it the seed of divine transformation. The very thing you thought would destroy you is the thing I will use to reveal my glory. The closed door, the unanswered prayer, the detour. These are not the signs of my absence. They are the traces of my guidance. You cannot see the full pattern yet, but one day you will. And when you do, you will marvel and say, "Truly, the Lord was with me all along." I know you wanted life to unfold differently. You had dreams, plans, and timelines that now seem lost. But I am not bound by human timing. I see the end from the beginning. I know which walls must fall before the new foundation can be laid. My dear children, what feels like the end to you is only the beginning in my hands. Be still and know that I am God. Let those words rest upon your heart like dew upon morning grass. Be still, not defeated, but trusting, not hopeless, but expectant. You do not need to understand how I will work all things together for your good. You only need to believe that I will. I have walked with you through every valley. I have carried you through storms you thought would drown you, and I will continue to carry you until you see my promise fulfilled. Do not despise the slow seasons, for it is in those moments that your roots grow deep. It is in waiting that faith matures and hope takes root in places where fear once lived. When the weight of disappointment feels heavy upon your chest, breathe in my peace. I am your comforter. I wrap my arms around you like a father comforting his child after a long day of tears. I whisper into your spirit, you are safe now. You are loved. You are mine. And my love, it does not fail. It does not fade when circumstances change. It does not lessen when you doubt. My love holds you steady when everything else shakes. When your dreams collapse, my love rebuilds. When your heart breaks, my love heals. When your strength fades, my love sustains. Remember, my dear children, that every disappointment is an invitation to deeper trust. You do not have to understand to find peace. You only need to rest in my heart. Look to the cross and see what I did out of what looked like defeat. The darkest moment of history became the doorway to everlasting victory. If I could bring resurrection out of the grave, how much more can I bring restoration out of your loss? So lift your eyes again. The potter has not finished with you. The wheel is still turning, and my hands are still shaping. The clay is softening, and the cracks are being filled with my golden grace. I am making something beautiful, something eternal. Do not give up, my dear children. Do not let the shadow of disappointment hide the light of my promise. The dawn is closer than you think. The sound of new beginnings is already stirring in the distance. Trust in me, and you will see the very thing that once broke you will one day bless you. My dear children, linger a while longer in my presence. Let the rush of the world fade, and listen to the still, small voice that has never stopped calling your name. The disappointments that once wounded you deeply, I am now touching them with my healing hand. I am turning what was once bitter into something that will overflow with sweetness in time. For nothing is wasted in my kingdom. Every ache, every loss, every tear that has fallen has been gathered by me and sown into the soil of redemption. You may not yet see the blossoms, but I promise they are growing. Beneath the surface, in the quiet soil, where no human eye can see, new life is stirring. That's how I work, my dear children, silently, patiently, faithfully. The roots of my plan run deep, and when they finally break the surface, they will reveal beauty that no disappointment could destroy. You have walked through seasons of confusion, when the path seemed hidden and your prayers seemed unanswered. But I was never absent. I was shaping you in the shadows, strengthening you in silence. Like a gardener pruning the vine, I was cutting away what no longer bore fruit, not to wound you, but to make room for greater abundance. You saw loss. I saw preparation. You saw an ending. I saw a beginning. Remember, my dear children, I am not limited by what you lose. I am the God who multiplies what remains. I am the one who takes 5 loaves and 2 fish, the little you have left, and feeds multitudes. When you bring me your fragments, I breathe life into them again. Nothing placed in my hand stays broken. You are not behind in my plan. You have not missed your moment. You are right where I need you to be for the next chapter I am writing. Your timeline is not delayed. It is being divinely aligned. Every pause, every not yet, every redirection has meaning in eternity. Do not let the enemy convince you that disappointment is the proof of my absence. On the contrary, it is often the stage where my glory is most clearly revealed. Think of Joseph, who sat in prison though he had done no wrong. Think of David hiding in caves though he was anointed as king. Think of my son, laid in the tomb when all seemed lost. Every disappointment in those stories became the doorway to destiny. And so it shall be with you, my dear children. The pain you carry is not in vain. I am shaping it into purpose. The wound that once felt unbearable will one day be the well from which compassion flows. You will comfort others not with hollow words, but with the depth of love that only comes from one who has been held and healed by me. The world celebrates strength, but I delight in surrender. When you reach the end of yourself, when all your plans have fallen apart, that is where I begin my greatest work. You cannot see it yet, but the very place of your disappointment is becoming sacred ground, the place where my power meets your weakness. Do not rush to fix what I am still forming. Be still, my dear children, and know that I am God. I am not waiting for you to get everything right. I am waiting for you to rest in me. I know the longing of your heart, and I have not ignored it. I see what you desire, but I also see what will truly fulfill you. Trust me when I withhold, just as you trust me when I give. Both are gifts, shaped by the same love. When I close one door, it is because I am leading you through another that opens to something far greater than you dreamed. You may think what you wanted was best, but I see the road ahead, the unseen corners, the hidden snares. I lead you away, not to punish you, but to protect you. My dear children, do not despise the waiting. The waiting is where roots grow. The waiting is where faith matures. The waiting is where your heart learns to recognize my voice above all others. When the answer finally comes, it will not just be what you hoped for, it will be better, because it will be wrapped in my perfect timing. Remember what I have spoken through the prophet Isaiah. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. That promise is for you. Even now I am renewing your strength. You may feel weary, but the wind of my spirit is rising beneath your wings. Soon you will soar again, not in your own power, but in mine. Let my peace cover you like a soft morning mist. The storm will pass, and when it does, you will see that nothing was lost, only transformed. The rain that once fell in sorrow has watered the seeds of your future. The thunder that once frightened you has cleared the air for my glory to shine. I know the longing in your heart to understand. But understanding is not what brings peace. Trust is. You do not need to see the full picture to believe that it is good. My plans for you are not fragile. They are eternal. My purposes are not easily undone. They are anchored in my sovereignty. You may feel as though your hands are empty, but I see them as ready to receive what I am about to pour out. I am preparing blessings that disappointment could not destroy, treasures that sorrow could not steal. So, my dear children, take courage, lift your eyes once more. The potter's hands are steady, the wheel still turns. The clay that yielded to my shaping will soon reveal my glory. The cracks that once brought shame will become lines of gold through which my light pours. Your story will speak of restoration, not ruin, of grace that never gave up, of love that never let go. And when you walk again in joy, remember that it was I who carried you through the valley. Remember that every step, every tear, every disappointment led you here to this place of peace in my presence. My dear children, open your hearts once more and let my voice settle upon you like the evening light over quiet waters. You have walked through shadowed valleys and faced the ache of unmet expectations. Yet here you are, still breathing, still held, still loved. Every step you have taken has been known to me. Every sigh of your spirit has reached my throne. And though disappointment may have shaken your confidence, it has not shaken my purpose for you. You may think the journey has gone off course, but I tell you, there are no detours in my design. Even the crooked paths, even the pauses that make you question, are woven into my tapestry of redemption. You see threads of confusion and pain, but I see the pattern of grace. I am not finished with your story. What you see as delay is often the sacred rhythm of my perfect timing. Do not despise the seasons that seem silent. Silence is not absence. It is invitation. When you hear nothing, listen deeper. Beneath the stillness, I am moving. Beneath the quiet, I am shaping. Like a seed buried in the dark earth, life is forming where you cannot see. And just as the dawn comes after the longest night, so my light will break through your disappointment. There are things you have prayed for and not received. There are doors you have knocked on that have remained closed. I know the sting of that. But I ask you, my dear children, do you trust me even when the answer is not what you expected? My no is never rejection. It is redirection. My wait is not neglect. It is nurturing. When I withhold, it is only because I am preparing something higher, something that will bless you beyond measure. When you felt like the broken clay jar, shattered beyond repair, I was never standing apart watching. I was kneeling beside you, gathering the pieces in my hands. I felt the sharp edges, I held them close, and I began the slow, tender work of mending. Each piece, no matter how small, I fit into place again, not as it was, but as it was meant to be. My restoration does not simply return what was lost. It transforms it into something stronger, something radiant. I use gold to fill the cracks. My dear children, the gold of my mercy, the gold of my grace. When others look upon you and see scars, I see the beauty of redemption. Those lines of gold tell a story of a love that refused to let go. You are not marked by failure. You are marked by my faithfulness. And oh, how I delight in redeeming what seemed beyond hope. I am the God who takes what the enemy meant for evil and turns it for good. I am the God who brings streams into deserts, who calls forth beauty from ashes, who turns mourning into dancing. The very things that once broke you will become the testimonies that strengthen others. Do not fear your scars, my dear children. They are not symbols of shame, but of survival. They proclaim that grace was greater, that love was stronger, that I was faithful. Every time you remember the pain, remember also the hand that carried you through it. There will be moments still when disappointment knocks again, when life takes another turn you did not plan. But now you know where to turn. You have learned that peace is not found in understanding, but in trusting. You have learned that joy is not in what you gain, but in who I am, and I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, steadfast, unchanging, and infinitely good. You may still carry unanswered questions, but I assure you, my dear children, that not one of them is wasted. I am writing the answers into your story, not in ink, but in transformation. You will not just hear explanations, you will become one. Your life will speak of my wisdom and my care in ways words never could. Lift your eyes for a moment. Can you see it? The dawn is rising. The horizon glows with light that was hidden behind the clouds. The night did not last forever. The disappointment that once consumed you has begun to dissolve in the warmth of my presence. You have not been defeated. You have been refined. You are stronger now, not because you escaped pain, but because you walked through it with me. You have discovered that your hope is not fragile. It is anchored in eternity. You have learned that love endures when all else fades. You have found that my grace is sufficient, more than sufficient, to carry you through the storm. And now, as you rise from this season, know that I am with you still. The same hands that shaped you in the valley will guide you upon the heights. The same voice that comforted you in sorrow will sing over you in joy. For I am not only the God of your disappointments, I am the God of your restoration. Look closely at what I am doing, my dear children. I am rebuilding the ruins, planting gardens where there were once thorns, and writing new songs for hearts that had forgotten how to sing. I am the Lord who makes all things new. Do not cling to what was, embrace what is coming. The new chapter I am writing in your life will not erase your past, but it will redeem it completely. Every pain you have endured will serve a purpose. Every tear will become rain upon the soil of someone else's hope. You will comfort others with the comfort I have given you. You will speak peace into hearts that tremble as yours once did. You will be a reflection of my gentle strength, the living proof that disappointment cannot destroy the one who rests in my love. My dear children, never forget this. You are deeply, unconditionally loved. Not because of what you have done, not because of what you have achieved, but simply because you are mine. I chose you before the world began. I have walked beside you through every storm. I will never leave you nor forsake you. You are engraved upon the palms of my hands, and those hands, the same that shaped the stars, are still shaping your future. So breathe deeply of my peace. Release what was, and open your heart to what will be. The potter's wheel still turns, and the vessel I am forming is nearly complete. Its beauty will reflect my heart. Its strength will carry my glory, and its purpose will bring life to others. Rest in this truth, my dear children. Your disappointment is being transformed into destiny. I am the God who finishes what he begins, and I will complete the good work I have started in you. My dear children, linger with me a little longer. Do not rush away from this moment, for my presence still surrounds you, gentle as the morning light after a storm. The winds have quieted, the clouds have begun to part, and here in the stillness I am near. I have been here all along, through every disappointment, every sigh, every tear you thought fell unseen. Nothing escapes my notice. Every sorrow has touched my heart, and every ache has been gathered into my love. You have walked through valleys that felt endless. You have watched plans unravel, hopes fade, and dreams you once held dear slip through your hands like sand. But now, feel the peace that I pour over you, a peace that does not come from understanding, but from trusting. Like sunlight after rain, my comfort is rising upon your soul. Do you feel the warmth of my embrace, my dear children? The same hands that shaped the mountains now rest upon your shoulders. The same voice that calmed the sea now whispers to your heart, "Be still and know that I am God. You are safe in me. You are sheltered under the wings of everlasting love. I have never once turned my face from you. Even when disappointment clouded your sight, my eyes remained fixed upon you with tender care. I have walked beside you through every night of doubt, and I have carried you when you felt too weak to stand. You are my precious child, the one for whom I gave everything. My love for you is not fragile, not fleeting. It is steadfast, eternal, and unbreakable. As you rest in my presence, imagine now a gentle river flowing through a quiet valley. The water glimmers beneath the sunlight, cool and clear. This river is my spirit, flowing through the dry places of your heart. It brings healing where there was pain, restoration where there was loss, and life where there was weariness. Drink deeply, my dear children, from this living water. Let it refresh the places within you that disappointment has drained. For I am making all things new, yes, even the parts of you that once felt beyond repair. You are not the same as before. You are being renewed by grace. The broken jar that once wept with sorrow now shines with gold. The cracks that seemed like scars have become lines of beauty through which my light shines brighter than ever. I told you before, and I tell you again, all things work together for good to those who love me, who are called according to my purpose. You may not always see how, but trust that I am weaving beauty even from the threads of your pain. In time, you will look back and see that every disappointment was a doorway to deeper joy. My dear children, I have not wasted one moment of your waiting. I have not ignored one prayer you whispered through tears. Every longing has been heard. Every ache has been recorded in the book of my remembrance. And though the answers may come differently than you expected, they will always come wrapped in my love. Now lift your eyes and look around. The dawn is breaking. The light that once seemed distant is touching the horizon of your soul. Feel it, that warmth, that quiet assurance. It is me, the Lord your God, shining upon you again. I am not finished with your story. I am only turning the page. You will rise from this season stronger, gentler, more radiant. You will carry compassion for those who suffer as you have. You will comfort others with the same comfort you have received from me. The hands that once trembled will now reach to lift others. The heart that once ached will become a wellspring of peace. The mouth that once cried out in despair will now speak life, blessing, and hope. Do not fear what lies ahead, for I walk before you and behind you. I surround you on every side. Even in uncertain days, my plans for you stand firm. For I know the plans I have for you. I declare plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. You may not see the full path, but I do. And every step you take in faith brings you closer to the promise I have prepared. Let my light guide you, my dear children. When shadows creep in, remember that even the darkness is as light to me. When your heart feels heavy again, come back to this place of stillness. Breathe in my peace. Let it settle your thoughts. For I am not just the God of mountaintops, I am the God of the valley too. I am there in every sunrise and every sleepless night, in laughter and in tears, in gain and in loss. I do not change with the seasons. My love remains constant. You have wondered if I am disappointed in you. Hear me clearly, my beloved ones, I am not. I see your striving, your sincerity, your fragile faith that still reaches for me even when hope feels dim. That faith, though small as a mustard seed, is precious to me. It moves mountains, it opens heavens, it pleases my heart. Do not measure your worth by your strength. Measure it by my love. For my grace is sufficient for you, and my power is made perfect in your weakness. Now, let your soul rest in quiet confidence. You do not need to fix what is broken alone. You do not need to understand every why. I am the one who carries you, who restores you, who turns even pain into praise. The rain has fallen, but the rainbow is forming. The storm has passed, and the sun now filters through the clouds, lighting up the earth with soft gold. That light is my promise, a reminder that I will never abandon you. Step forward with courage, my dear children. Do not let fear or regret hold you back. The future is not uncertain when it rests in my hands. Walk with me, one step at a time, and I will show you the beauty of new beginnings. I will take the ashes of your disappointment and fashion them into the soil from which new joy will grow. You will see flowers bloom again where you thought the ground was barren. You will laugh again, sing again, hope again. And when you do, remember that it was I who brought you through. Give thanks, not because everything has gone as you planned, but because everything is working according to my purpose. Give thanks for the lessons, the waiting, the gentle shaping of your heart. For these are the tools by which I make you more like me. Never forget that you are mine. You belong to me, heart, soul, and spirit. I delight in you not because you are perfect, but because you are precious. You are my workmanship, my masterpiece, created in love and redeemed by grace. Nothing can snatch you from my hand, not disappointment, not loss, not even your own doubts can separate you from my love. As this time draws to a close, my dear children, carry my peace with you. Let it flow through your days like a quiet stream, calming your heart when worries rise. Let my word dwell richly in you, guiding your thoughts, shaping your choices, reminding you always that I am near. When you awaken in the morning, remember that my mercies are new. When the evening falls, remember that my faithfulness endures. When life surprises you, remember that I am still your shepherd, leading you beside still waters, restoring your soul. And when you share this message, when you speak of my comfort and grace, you become my voice in someone else's storm. So if this word has touched your heart, my dear children, let it ripple outward. Share it not for recognition, but out of love, that others too may find hope in my words. Let them hear the whisper of the Father through you, a whisper that says, "You are not alone, and you are deeply loved." You can leave a word, a thought, a prayer below, for when you speak life, it multiplies. And when you share this light, it travels farther than you can imagine. I will use it to touch hearts you may never meet, to comfort souls who are silently aching, just as you once did. So go now, my dear children, with my blessing resting upon you. May my peace be the lamp that guides your steps, my love be the song that fills your heart, and my spirit be the wind that carries you forward. When disappointment tries to return, remember this truth. You are never alone, for I am with you always, even to the end of the age. And as you go, lift your face to the light. The storm has passed, and the sky is clear. The potter's hand still holds you, steady and sure. The masterpiece of your life is still unfolding, and it will end not in despair, but in glory. I am your Father, your Comforter, your Redeemer. I am the one who makes beauty from ashes, who turns sorrow into strength, who writes hope into every story. And rest now, my dear children, in the calm of my everlasting love, for you are mine, and I am yours forever.